I forced a love contract on Shane. I'm a trust fund princess, pretty face, deep pockets. Shane was broke, but unfairly gorgeous. I fell for him at first sight, so I whipped out my Amex. Be my boyfriend and I'll cover your mother's medical bills. Shane's mom was circling the drain and the treatment costs were suffocating him between my carrot and stick. He agreed to the forced arrangement. I knew you can't squeeze sweetness from an unripe melon, but I also believed that if you grind an iron rod long enough it becomes a needle. With enough patience, Shane would eventually love me back. Senior year, Hayes took a sharp turn for the worse. The old saying goes, if the king of hell stamps your ticket for midnight, you won't see dawn. No matter how many zeros I added to the check, airlifting her to the best domestic ICU, importing celebrity specialists, Hayes couldn't beat the Reaper. The night before she died, I had a marathon nightmare. In it I was the expendable villainess of a tragedy novel, rich, spoiled, waving my family's power to force the male lead into dating me, ripping true love apart. But the laws of the genre say the leads must end up together, so the villainess has to crash and burn. The finale rolled. Boy and girl bathed in eternal sunshine while I, ruined and homeless, ended a beggar, starved to death on a sidewalk. Dream Shane was the male lead. Dream Brianna was his childhood friend. I woke starfished on my mattress, rethinking existence. I rarely dream, and when I do it evaporates by breakfast. Yet every frame of last night's horror stayed in 4K. Worse, the ending felt logical. I've been swaddled in luxury since birth. Drop me into the real world without staff and I'd probably end up that exact beggar. I can't swallow bitterness. Death by noodles it is. I flopped back in corpse pose, weighing love against money. Money, obviously. Hesitating even a second would be disrespectful to the almighty dollar. Still, when I asked myself whether I still liked Shane, my mouth pouted of its own accord. Yeah. I still liked him. For years, he'd been gentle, quietly kind, and, for stretches, truly mine. But love doesn't pay the rent. I howled at the ceiling. I really am a princess who can't hack hardship. After 60 seconds of theatrics I sprang up. It was only a dream, maybe. I needed reconnaissance. The nightmare said Hayes would die at noon. I clung to hope. Yesterday's doctor had actually mentioned marginal improvement. No way she'd flatline today. I stalled lunch for an hour. Eyes on the clock. When the fatal minute passed uneventfully, I exhaled so hard my ribs squeaked. I thumped my sternum. See, just a dumb dream, scaring myself for sport. I rang Shane for lunch. Sure, he said. His clean, warm voice filled me with fizzy certainty. Such a good man, why can't he be mine forever? Halfway through my poke bowl, the phone jitterbugged across the table. One glance and half my blood turned to ice. Please, not that call. I picked up, throat sandpapered. After the doctor spoke, the remaining blood drained south. Shane watched me hang up, face chalky. What's wrong? His own phone rang before I could answer. I spotted the caller ID and clamped his wrist. We have to go. Hayes is gone. Color left him. He reversed our grip and sprinted, dragging me out of the bistro. Shane grew up in a single-parent hive, just him and Hayes. After his dad died of illness, every relative afraid of being hit up for loans slipped out of their lives. Hayes wanted the funeral minimalist, and Shane barred me from it. Chloe, go home, please. Voice cracked from dehydration, exact dialogue from my nightmare. My heart nosedived. I opened my mouth, swallowed the words, and exhaled defeat, respecting his wish. I stayed away. In the dream he'd also shut me out, yet allowed Brianna to keep vigil beside him. I'd barged in anyway, knelt until my knees turned to gravel, and eventually passed out on a folding chair, while Shane handled the arrangements. My brain spun like a dryer. Hayes' death, Shane shutting the door on me while cozying up to Brianna, plus that prophecy. All these overlaps frayed every nerve. Coincidence? Once, maybe, twice. Would a third strike land? I hadn't followed the dream script so far. Could that reroute the ending, or was destiny non-negotiable? I couldn't know, and I was too chicken to gamble. One more test. Final one. If reality still mirrored the nightmare, Shane and I were cosmically over. The dream claimed Hayes' father was Charles, a minor legend in domestic e-commerce. Translation: Hayes had been a runaway heiress. Dad disowned her for loving a penniless poet, and decades of silence followed. After Hayes' funeral, Charles's own ticker sputtered. Old age plus regret equals nostalgia. He hired investigators, discovered he had a grandson living like a church mouse, and hauled Shane back into the gated manor, raining company shares and affection to atone. If that thunderbolt hit, the dream graduated from woo-woo to documentary. A full week crawled by, no Shane, no texts. I puffed up like a blowfish. I slugged his chibi body pillow twice, hurled it to the floor, and stomped extra holes for good measure. Then I caved, clutching my phone. Not one message. Am I yesterday's news now that my checkbook's closed? Or is he cuddling little Miss Brianna? My face twisted. twisted. I won't allow it. I speed dialed him. 3 rings, then Brianna's honeyed lilt floated through. Shane. Your phone. A deeper reply. Yow. Who is it? Chloe. She sing-songed. Death penalty. 1 week of radio silence and they're together at 10 p.m. I vibrated with rage, but fear handcuffed me. The one who falls first loses hardest. I'd bought his presence, not his heart. Hayes was gone, my leverage rotting 6 feet under. If he wanted a breakup tomorrow, I had 0 ammo. Chloe. His exhaustion softened me instantly. My anger evaporated. I whispered, are you okay? Holding up. Silence ballooned. I wanted him to explain the week-long ghosting, the late-night coziness with Brianna, but I didn't ask. He never volunteered. Had it always been this one-sided? Come to think of it, yes. If I didn't text first, my phone stayed dark. He never liked me, my money, maybe, my persistence, definitely, nothing more. Today, for whatever reason, I refused to chirp. Of course I cracked first, otherwise we'd still be mute at sunrise. I murmured, don't grieve alone. Things will settle. I'll stay with you. The last phrase barely left my lips. He didn't catch it. What? Nothing. Just, take care. She's gone. But life scrolls on. Okay. I thought I heard a tiny laugh. Night. Night. I hung up and let the phone drop beside me, heart quietly tearing. We didn't meet that month. Just sporadic WhatsApp pings. I'd decided the prophecy was gospel. I sighed, opened a game to kill time, and an unknown number flashed across the screen. I never answer strangers. Declined. It rang again. Same digits. Odd. Maybe someone I actually know. I picked up the call, puzzled. Hello, Chloe. It's me, Brianna. Oh, I was already losing interest. Whatever came next would hardly be pleasant. Sure enough, she said, break up with Shane. I went quiet and gave no answer. She pressed on. Hayes is gone. He doesn't need your money anymore. What you two had was never a normal relationship. Cut your losses before it's too late. You like him, but he doesn't like you. Face facts. A girl should have some self-respect. Self-respect. Ha! I laughed coldly. From what pedestal are you lecturing me on self-respect? He doesn't like me, so he likes you instead? My tone was scornful. Are you prettier than me? Richer? Smarter? You're an ugly duckling who loses to me in every way. Yet here you are barking. You, Brianna choked. Furious. You have no idea what's good for you. Then, smug, she added, of course he likes me. Didn't know. Did you? She paused for effect. Voice dripping pride. Shane's grandfather has taken him back. The old man is loaded. Richer than you by 100. 1,000 times. Brianna gloated. He never told you. But he told me. If you had any self-awareness you'd feel how cold he's been lately. He's kind and gentle, sparing your feelings, which is why he hasn't brought up the breakup himself. So before the yapping finished, I hung up, expressionless. Nothing worth hearing left. Staying on would only bring more insult. I didn't know whether Shane liked Brianna now, but I knew for sure he no longer liked me. I wouldn't drain whatever tenderness he had left, and since he couldn't bear to dump me, I'd make the cut myself. Besides, if the nightmare was real, I wasn't the heroine in his story. Starving to death as a beggar wasn't the ending I wanted. Leaning against the headboard, I thought quietly for 10 minutes, then pulled out my phone and stared at Shane's contact. I scrolled through our chat history. It started sophomore year of high school. A long time. Truth was, I'd liked him since freshman year. I only got his number sophomore year. Nearly 7 years now. I lose interest in everything after 3 minutes, except this guy. 7 years and counting. In all that time he'd texted first maybe a handful of times. Usually when he needed something, or when I'd begged the night before for him to message me the next day. The last message was mine, a reminder to eat properly, sent yesterday. He still hadn't replied. I tapped the corner dots, chose clear chat, deleted his WhatsApp, blocked his number, and booked a flight to Montara. No contact, no need for numbers. I'm done playing. This girl's flying off to live free. Expendable villainess my foot. Get out of my life. Let the male and female leads live happily ever after. I'm not the villain anymore. Flight's the day after tomorrow. I listed the condo for rent online, then hit a buffet and ate like a queen. Hard to find food this good once I'm abroad. Next morning I started packing. I'm good at decluttering. Not many clothes. 2 suitcases did it. Big apartment, never noticed before, Shane's fingerprints everywhere. The scarf he gave me for my birthday. I hate turtlenecks, so he worked 2 months part-time to buy it. Mugs, gloves, hair ties, daily stuff woven through my life. Sentimental me, never replaced anything he'd given. Clothes, 2 pricey pieces from after he and some classmates started a small company in college. His toothbrush, cup, towel, pajamas, bits of him in every corner. I packed all day and still wasn't done. The mug fits my hand. The gloves are warm. The hair tie wraps my ponytail twice. Perfect. Can't toss them. Can't take them. I sat on the couch staring at the pile. Finally sighed. Deleted the rental post. And stashed everything in the bedroom corner. Keep the condo. Not calling my parents in Montara. I'll surprise them. They'd moved there hoping I'd attend college abroad. But I couldn't stomach Montara food or leave my boyfriend. So I stayed domestic. Now I'm leaving. Who knows when I'll be back. Feels a little sad. Chin in hand. I cycled through social apps. Glad Shane doesn't use them. One less account to delete. Thinking of him again. Bored. Doom scrolling. When a call banner popped up, I glanced at the number and rejected it with zero expression. Oops. Blocked Shane, but forgot his childhood friend. Blocked Brianna too. Let them rot together in the blacklist. 5 minutes later a new text. Blocking me won't work. Shane set on Edinburgh for grad school. Give it up. I almost laughed. Studying abroad kept secret, so I wouldn't chase him. Fine by me. Proves I meant nothing. Smiling. I dragged that number into the block list. 10 minutes later, another unknown call. Seriously. Irritated. I yanked the SIM card and tossed it in the trash. Can't beat me. Try another phone. Next day I boarded the plane and left the drama behind. Up in the clouds. I pictured a melodramatic novel. Heroine stalks hero 6 years. Finds she's the expendable villainess in asterisk run. Villainess. I won't be a beggar asterisk, and laughed at my own theatrics. Grandfather, please. Shane knelt. Spine straight. Exhaustion clear from days of searching for Chloe. Charles sighed. Why torment yourself? One girl breaks up. Another comes along. Shane pressed his lips. I only want her. Enough. Stand up. I'll find her. For his newly acknowledged grandson. Charles located Chloe in 2 days. Staring at the address on his phone, Shane's eyes darkened, then booked the next flight to Montara. I stared at the tall figure at my door. Mind blank. Moonlight on the floor matched the cold in my heart. Aren't you going to invite me in? Shane asked quietly, breaking the stillness. Sure. Come in. I stepped aside, almost obsequious. Maybe I was born to grovel. Watching him enter, I felt conflicted. How had he found me? Online I'm fearless. Real life. Coward. This ambush was trouble. All I dared to do was block and run. His accusatory air almost made me think he still cared. I coughed. Awkward. Water. Want some? I'll get it. Luckily, my parents were away. I'd never let an ex in otherwise. Why block me? At that, my fleeting guilt flipped to his cold-heartedness. I slammed the glass down. What else after a breakup? Keep you for spam. The word breakup stabbed him like needles. I never agreed. You never said. His face was stormy. A relationship is 2 people. 2 people? I sneered. Your grandfather comes? Did you mention it? Edinburgh, did we discuss it? Shane's brows drew tight. Who told you? Your precious childhood friend, I said sweetly. She says you never liked me, so I should quit clinging. None of it ever happened. Shane was furious. When did I ever say I didn't like you? Why believe what other people tell you? Why not ask me? Why run off without a word? He was usually so gentle. Pushed to the edge, he finally exploded. His barrage of questions left me speechless. I opened my mouth, then said, a little aggrieved, but you never said you liked me either. Shane exhaled deeply, yanked me into his arms, banded them tight around my waist, and buried his head in the hollow of my neck. I'm sorry, Chloe. It's my fault. I kept thinking love is something you show, not something you say. I thought you could feel it. Looks like I didn't do enough. Didn't give you enough security. His apology tugged me back through every memory of us. Has Shane treated me well? Ridiculously well, otherwise I wouldn't be so addicted to his warmth. Maybe I really am that insecure. I decided from the start he could never fall for me. Convinced myself I'd coerced him and that he must resent me. Let's leave that. Claiming your grandfather. Planning to study abroad. You told Brianna, but not me. The grandfather thing didn't feel important. I'm not sentimental. I felt nothing for a stranger who suddenly wanted to be family. I don't want his money. Give me time and I'll match him on my own. It wasn't bragging. I knew he could do it. The startup he and his classmates run has been profitable from day one. Success is only a matter of time. There are 2 people I can't live without. The mother who gave me life, and the girl who pulled me out of hell. Shane stroked my hair gently. I was desperate for cash. Then you appeared. Without you, my mom probably would have died when I was a sophomore. The fact she's still here, Chloe, he said, looking down at me, galaxies in his eyes. I'm most grateful to you. I never expected that. I thought he'd blame me for buying him with money back then. You're brave, strong, optimistic, so many qualities I can't count. Falling for you was the easiest, most beautiful thing in the world. About studying abroad, my grandfather brought it up, but I never agreed. I've never discussed it with Brianna. Never meant to hide it from you. I don't know where she heard it, but I'll find out and give you an explanation. Oh, okay, then, why didn't you answer my text? Afraid he'd forgotten. I prompted, the one where I told you to eat properly. Shane looked utterly defeated, as if I were a bratty kid. My advisor locked us in the lab. No phones allowed. I told you a week beforehand to leave messages. I'd reply the second we were done. I wilted with guilt, because the moment he said it I remembered, he really had warned me. I'd just been drowning in that nightmare. One minute I was the doomed expendable Villainess. The next I was sure he and Brianna would end up together. Then I pictured myself a penniless beggar. No room left in my head for his schedule. I swallowed. When Hayes passed, why didn't you let me stay with you? Why Brianna instead? Shane sighed. You weren't close to my mom. And you're spoiled. Funerals are brutal. You wouldn't survive the overnight vigil. Better you get some sleep. He knew me too well. In the dream I hadn't lasted. I'd blacked out and woken up with purple knees so sore I couldn't walk. Hayes and I had barely intersected. When I met Shane she was already critically ill, unconscious most of the time. The rare moments she woke, Shane sat chatting with her. She'd said maybe 3 sentences to me. Knew I was his girlfriend. I'd footed her astronomical treatment costs only because I loved Shane. So he wasn't wrong. My feelings for her were thin. Mostly fear that he'd lose his mother. I kept my voice steady. Then why let Brianna keep vigil? My mom once saved her life. And Brianna practically grew up in our house. Whatever else is between us. The two of them cared about each other. I had no right to turn her away. Fine, okay. I cleared my throat. Do you want more water? Any more questions? Shane didn't answer. He just watched me with a stare so deep it was scary. I swallowed again, psyching myself up. And none. Good. My turn. His right arm locked around my waist. Left hand cupped the back of my head. And he kissed me, hard. I was so startled my eyes went wide. My dumbfounded look seemed to amuse him. He smiled against my lips. Warm breath brushing my cheek. Close your eyes. I didn't know I could be this obedient, but I did close them, and my mouth was claimed again. When we finally parted I was breathless, face buried against his chest, shy but so sweetly happy it beat honey. Once my heart slowed, I tilted my head, dazzled by his handsome face, and said, bright-eyed, I want more. He scooped me up in one motion. Which way's the bedroom? I pointed. He carried me off without loosening his grip. Perfect. We'll finish this in bed. Shane's visit was sudden and short. His company was swamped. He was still a senior with a thesis to finish, and he couldn't stay in Montara long. I walked him to the gate, loath to let go. When will you be back? Since I'd refused to fly home with him, he'd been icy all morning. I wiggled his slim fingers, wheedling. 1 week. Mom and Dad get back tomorrow. I'll hang with them 7 days. Then come home to you. Fine. Reluctant. He bent and kissed me softly. I'll be waiting. Deal. I grinned like an idiot. Oh, unblock me already. The reminder stung. The little heartless wretch had blocked him on a whim. Right. Forgot. I fumbled for my phone. Then remembered. I tossed the SIM. I can't get a replacement until I'm back. So, how about my new number? Seeing his thunderdark face, I tugged his sleeve apologetically. Sorry, baby. I was really mad. And hurt. Plus your childhood friend kept spamming me from new numbers. I snapped and trashed the card. You're not mad, are you? I batted my mascaraed lashes. Furious or not, he was helpless, stone-faced. He took my phone, punched in his digits. I chirped a laugh and pecked his cheek. Mwah, love you, baby. Go, or you'll miss boarding. Take care. Call if anything bugs you. No brooding alone. Roger. After he left I opened my contacts. He'd saved himself as hubby. So shameless I giggled. But there were 2 entries for him. One I recognized. The other looked faintly familiar, though I couldn't place it. Whatever. Probably his second line. Still, why did I feel I'd forgotten something huge? What was it? Forget it. Probably not important. The next week I played tour guide for Mom and Dad, shopping like a maniac. They hated seeing me leave. Sweetie, why the rush? Mom held my hand, eyes shining. Dad's been calling me a third wheel. Another day and he'd personally evict me. I winked at Dad. Mom swatted him playfully while he put on an innocent, never thought that his face. Plus flights are easy now. I'll visit tons every year. And you'll come see me. It's no different. All right. Eat well. Rest well. Fly over whenever you can. Relax. Shane friends there. They've always known about Shane, never suspecting the forced arrangement, thinking we're a normal couple. Mom adores him, sweet temper, gentle, good-looking. Dad respects the hell out of him. I didn't mention the breakup with Shane when I came looking for them this time, so when they heard me talk like that, they relaxed. Huh, good. With Shane around I feel safe. Next time bring him along. Yes, ma'am. The mood of this homecoming couldn't have been more different from the mood when I'd flown out. The minute we landed I felt the air itself was delicious. The breeze perfectly timed. Outside the terminal I spotted Shane's car parked nearby. Once I was inside he asked, "My place or yours?" Neither. First we replaced my SIM. Lucky I'd never cancelled the line. Otherwise the number would have been gone for good. Sure. Shane started the engine. Traffic was heavy and we crawled. So I chattered nonstop about the fun I'd had sightseeing in Montera. Before he'd flown home Shane had WhatsApped that he'd sorted out the Brianna thing and would explain once we landed. We were stuck at a red light. When I finally paused for breath he handed me a bottle of water and said, "I went to Brianna and asked how she knew any of it. She admitted she'd eavesdropped. I recorded the whole conversation. I'll play it for you when we're home." I didn't lie. I never told her anything. She's basically a stranger. The only reason we ever helped her was out of respect for Hayes. Every contact is now blocked, and I won't pick up if she calls. You know my passcode. Scroll through every old chat with her if you want. Oh, then I will. Go ahead. I took his phone and typed the passcode, the date we'd become official, the code I'd set for him that day, and he'd never changed it. I opened his WhatsApp. My contact read baby, pinned at the top. Full marks. I scrolled down and saw Brianna's name. Tapping it showed contact deleted. The chat history was long, but 90% of it was her texting. Shane's answers were sparse, skipping whole blocks, replying only to the essentials. Short phrases like okay, fine, sure, that was his entire vocabulary with her. Fine by me. The man had boundaries. Once we left the busy district the roads cleared, and we reached the store in no time. The new card would take a few days, so we headed home, my home. I'd been gone almost half a month, yet the place was spotless. I paid someone to clean weekly. Money really is magic. We tidied together, putting everything back where it belonged. Midway through Shane made a supermarket run and restocked couple-wise supplies, replacing every item of his I'd once thrown out. Ha! Men. I flopped on the couch, exhausted, tracking him with my eyes as he moved around. Suddenly remembered, we still have a score to settle. What? He came over and sat opposite me like a model pupil awaiting interrogation. Why did you never text me first? He rose, slid next to me, lifted me onto his lap so we were face to face. Foreheads touching. Apology mode. Maximum sincerity. Zero excuses. Sorry, that's on me, baby. Can you forgive me? His voice was low, like a puppy begging its owner. Damn it, a beauty trap. Hell, but I fall for it every time. I hesitated. He cooed, baby. I melted instantly. All right, forgiven, but don't do it again. Male fox spirit. In that moment, I finally understood King Zhou and became him. Shane dropped light kisses on my cheeks. Thank you, baby. He looked me dead in the eye. Chloe, this is my first relationship. I'm clueless. If anything I do ever feels off, tell me and I'll fix it. But you must never leave me. That's non-negotiable. After that he really did change. Little by little, talking didn't come naturally. Sharing was like writing a ship's log. Sample entry, breakfast, bagel, and coffee. Then forgot umbrella. Went back. Noon, evening. Other times he sounded like a poet. He wrote that on his commute he saw a sunflower and it made him want to kiss me. I answered. Dawn, sky, dusk, clouds, walking, sitting. I miss you, but that's later. A few days later the store called to say the SIM was ready. 5 minutes by car. I had the clerk pop it in on the spot. When the phone booted I stared, stunned. Hundreds of missed calls. Good grief. They were all from Shane. Placed during the week I'd been unreachable, scattered across the clock. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. What had he been thinking? Dialing a dead number. Guilt clawed at me. I'd been too reckless, too quick to distrust us. At the very bottom I spotted another number with a long string of calls. A light bulb went off. It was Shane's second line, the one he'd used for that final call before I tossed the phone. I'd assumed it was Brianna. My expression went complicated. No matter. We have time. I'll change too. I drove home slowly, stopped at a bakery, and bought the double choc ice cream cake we both love. As I stepped out, a ragged beggar walked in, probably to ask the owner. Wait, beggar. Crap. Romance had short-circuited my brain. I'd forgotten the dream. Help. How do you break a prophecy? Easy, ask Shane. I went back in, stuffed $100 bill into the beggar's hand, then left. The guy beamed, windfall from the sky. If I ever end up a beggar, I hope lots of kind strangers magically hand me hundreds. I texted Shane. Come straight home after work. That night he found me staring at the half-melted cake like it was a final exam. What's wrong with the cake? I snapped out of it. Cake's fine. I'm the problem. Are you melting too? Why take it out so early? He put the cake in the freezer. Half an hour longer, it'll taste better. Come here. I need to tell you something bizarre. He rolled up his sleeves, kissed me, and sat, all attention. I spilled the dream in one gloomy torrent. He was the male lead. I the expendable Villainess. Brianna, the female lead. He even passed me water so I wouldn't choke on my own words. And in the end, I was a penniless beggar. That's all. When I finished, he went quiet. All right, understood. I'll handle it. Don't worry. I won't pretend a dream can't hold partial truth. But I swear it's not the full story. I feel nothing for Brianna. We'll stay together. And I will never let you become a beggar. Just like that. My panic drained away. This time I chose to trust him. The way he trusted me. Love is mutual faith. The Shane in the dream had never gone this far. Maybe I do glimpse fragments of the future. Maybe fear distorts them, exaggerates, edits facts. Either way, I'm willing to believe this once. That night we devoured the ice cream cake. Freezing it really had improved the texture. The next evening Shane came home, handed me a contract, and told me to read and sign. He disappeared into the kitchen to cook while I stood there, stunned, speechless. I padded to him in slippers, wrapped my arms around his waist, face pressed to his back, voice muffled. Shane, how can you love me this much? He turned and pulled me close. Loving you is my default. The document transferred every single one of his company's shares to me, gratis. After I signed I said, baby, you're indentured to me for life. Exactly. So, Chloe, never dump me, or I might really lose my mind and drag you to hell with me. He buried his face in the curve of my neck. Eyes dark, unreadable, overflowing with love. The end.